What would you do if, after years of devotion and sacrifice, the person you trusted most turned your anniversary into a public disgrace? That's exactly what happened to me. Let me take you through how it all fell apart. We'd been married for 12 years. Her name was Natalie, and every single year, she insisted on orchestrating our anniversary herself. She always claimed it was her gift to me. This year was no exception. "Don't worry about a thing," Natalie said one morning, offering a faint smile as she nudged her coffee cup toward me. "Just wear something nice and come hungry tonight." That was the first warmth I'd felt from her in weeks. Truthfully, we'd been distant for some time. Quiet dinners, fewer shared laughs, and more hours spent with her eyes glued to her phone than on me. She worked part-time at a boutique downtown, took yoga classes, and spent nearly all her free time with her best friend, Megan. I told myself we were just in another rough patch. It had happened before, and we always seemed to find our way back. So when she started acting cheerful again in late May, humming around the house, and even wearing perfume, I thought maybe she was trying to repair things. I wanted to believe it. That's what 12 years together does. You cling to hope longer than you probably should. That evening, we drove downtown. She was practically bouncing in her seat, fingers drumming on the dashboard like a teenager heading to a school dance. I asked which restaurant she had picked. "You'll see," she replied, grinning, eyes bright. "Tonight will be unforgettable." The restaurant was breathtaking. A rooftop spot with glass walls, soft lighting, and a view that stretched endlessly. The kind of place you'd choose to propose, not for closure. She wore a deep emerald dress, and I realized it had been months since I'd last seen her dress up for me, maybe even longer. We were seated by the window. She ordered a bottle of wine, her smile lingering, but something about it was off. Not excitement, it was anticipation, nervous energy, like she was waiting for something to happen. "Natalie," I asked finally, leaning closer, "you're acting different. Did you invite someone?" She glanced at her phone, tapping idly. "You'll see," she said, barely hiding a smirk as her eyes darted to the entrance. At first, I assumed she had invited Megan. Then she whispered, almost giddy, "Just wait. It'll make sense soon." That's when he appeared. Young, maybe mid-30s, with that arrogant swagger some men wear like armor. Slim-fit jeans that looked out of place, a tan blazer, and a smug grin like he owned the room. Natalie lit up, not just waving him over, but standing as if meeting a rock star. My stomach dropped before my mind could catch up. "Daniel," she said brightly, turning to me with a proud glint in her eye. "This is Tyler. He's, well, very important to me." Tyler extended his hand. I didn't take it. I just stared. "What is this?" I asked, voice cold and even. Natalie softened, as if she were delivering some profound truth. "I didn't want to lie anymore," she said calmly as Tyler slid into the empty seat next to her, the seat the waiter had conveniently left vacant. "We've been drifting, Daniel. I met Tyler months ago. He makes me feel alive again. I wanted you to meet him so we could handle this like adults." I looked at her, then at him. Tyler, pretending to study the wine list like everything was normal. "You brought your boyfriend," I said, "to our anniversary dinner." She didn't even flinch. "I thought you deserved the truth," she replied, as if her betrayal were some noble gesture. "That's not truth," I said quietly. "That's performance." Tyler smirked, clearly enjoying himself. I didn't create a scene. I signaled the waiter, paid in cash for the appetizer and drinks, and slowly folded my napkin. "Well," I said, standing. "Thanks for clarifying." Natalie's eyes widened. She had expected shouting, accusations, drama. Instead, I walked out. I didn't look back when she called my name or when Tyler chuckled. I rode the elevator alone. Each floor passed like a chapter closing. 12 years gone in minutes. She didn't return home that night. No text, no call, nothing. I assumed she went home with Tyler. Maybe that was always the plan. The next morning, I called my lawyer, Elaine Kim. Sharp, no nonsense, and I'd used her before for a property deal. After I explained, she asked simply, "Any kids?" "No," I said. "Just two strangers now. once bound by vows that no longer mattered. By Wednesday, the divorce was filed. Natalie didn't call, but texts began soon after, calm at first, then desperate. "We can still be civil. Why are you so cold? You left without talking." By day 4, she sent a flood of messages blaming me for everything, claiming I'd neglected her, that she had no choice but to find love elsewhere, accusing me of abandoning the marriage. Then came the knock. She stood at the door in a gray sweater, no tears, just crossed arms and defiance. She still had a key but knocked anyway. "Daniel," she said softly, "please can we talk? I didn't mean for it to go like this. I just wanted you to understand." I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "You made your choice at that table, Natalie," I replied. "Now you live with it." She stared a moment longer and left. 2 weeks later, her lawyer sent a formal demand: full ownership of the house, $2,800 a month spousal support, plus a large share of my retirement fund. Her justification: emotional trauma and lost career opportunities from supporting me. I laughed. She'd chosen part-time work, chasing short-lived hobbies, everything from soap making to dog training. I supported her every step. Elaine said calmly, "Let them dream. We'll dismantle it." I compiled every receipt, message, and payment record. Proof I'd carried the financial burden alone. Then, unexpectedly, Megan, Natalie's so-called best friend, called. She left a voicemail. "Daniel, I know you might not want to hear from me, but I need to tell you something about Tyler. Please call me back." Curious, I did. We met at a cafe. Megan looked tense, nothing like the loyal friend Natalie claimed she was. She revealed Tyler's history. He had dated her friend last year. The same story: charming, fast-moving, then vanished, leaving her financially ruined. I listened quietly. I had tried to warn Natalie. She shut me down, calling me jealous. Then Megan slid a printed dating profile across the table: Tyler, but under a different name. On the day of mediation, Natalie arrived with Tyler, who had the audacity to wear sunglasses indoors, and her lawyer. Elaine and I took our seats across from them. Her lawyer launched into a dramatic speech, claiming Natalie had been emotionally neglected and deserved the house and financial support. Natalie followed, pointing fingers at my emotional distance and insisting she only found love after years of feeling ignored. I stayed silent. Tyler chimed in, talking about how Natalie needed stability. Elaine stayed calm and set the trap. "Let's clarify the timeline," she said, sliding forward the investigator's report: photos, dates, receipts, all proving Natalie and Tyler's affair began 9 months ago, not 4. Then came the financial records: luxury hotels, fine dining, spa visits, all charged to our shared account. Elaine's voice remained steady. "Her claims of career sacrifice don't match these records," she said, showing how Natalie had spent marital funds on trips with Tyler. Finally, she revealed the smoking gun: a printed email where Natalie bragged about her plan to shock me into appreciating her. Silence filled the room. The mediator called a recess. Tyler left, returning 15 minutes later. When they came back, Natalie looked defeated. Tyler's smugness had vanished. Her lawyer spoke with less confidence now. "My client is open to a more reasonable settlement," he muttered. Elaine raised an eyebrow. "No spousal support?" she asked. Natalie hesitated, then nodded. Elaine then addressed the credit card debt. $60,000 spent on Tyler. "That will be deducted from her share," she said firmly. Tyler scowled and muttered something under his breath. "Are we done?" Natalie asked, stunned by his coldness. "You said you'd stand by me," she whispered. He didn't even glance at her. The deal was finalized the following week. They had entered that room expecting to break me, but the truth shattered their story. Later that night, Megan texted me, "He's already seeing someone else." I didn't reply. In her silence, I sensed Natalie finally realized Tyler wasn't her escape. He was her downfall. 6 months later, the divorce was official. I sold the house, paid off the mortgage, and bought a quiet 2-bedroom of my own. Nothing extravagant, just mine. She kept the furniture. I didn't want it. One evening, while unpacking, I found an old photo album, pictures from our early years, camping trips, holidays. I flipped through them without pain, only a faint, distant warmth, like looking at strangers. I tucked it away in the closet. Not bitter, not nostalgic, just done. I don't keep photos from that anniversary dinner. I don't need to. That night wasn't heartbreak. It was liberation. The end of lies. The beginning of something quiet, simple, and entirely mine. Thank you for listening to Breakup Cheater. If you made it this far, ask yourself, would you have walked out like I did?